Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I can feel it. That Red Man thing.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Shout out to anybody tuned in. I'm happy for all support, whether it's one person or 1,000 people. You tuned into the Enveonline podcast. You rocking with your host, one half of this platform, son of a Jones, and to my left with the Franklin shirt on.
Azar Johnson, aka the Black Franklin of Christmas.
He tried to be. See, this is my issue with him. These subtle little Huey P. Newton political moves. He thought I ain't peep it. When y'all see this on the playback, you got to be our age. See, we old heads. He comes in with the peanut characters. Some of y'all don't know what the peanut characters is. You know, salute to Charlie Brown, but there's an iconic person on there, Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
And from a Black experience, there's a way that we view Franklin within the peanut character series.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say anything about your boy Franklin?
Franklin is the only brother that was on the peanut characters, and he represented well. And you know what, too? If you go look at some of the pictures, he was dolo by himself on the table.
At the tables.
Yeah, so I was like, yo, you know, I'm representing for
That's
my
why
man.
I peeped it. I said, yo, you want to come in here subtly Huey P. Newton.
That's right, man. Hey, Christmas. Every time we do one right around this holiday, this is coming on, man. This is coming on. No. So, yeah, man.
It's in a, we got an hour podcast. We like to curate the underground. So I brought some artwork.
Yes,
salute
sir.
the Nas and DJ Premier. So we're going to talk at least a good 20 to 30 minutes about this album. We got some sports topics, some political topics. Before we start, salute to anybody watching. I just found out my kids found a channel on YouTube. So salute to my son, Tony. Salute to my daughter, because I guess y'all watching me on YouTube now. And salute to everybody out there around the holiday seasons, no matter what you celebrate, whether you celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, I guess Hanukkah.
Yeah, Hanukkah, yes.
You know, whatever you celebrate, happy holidays to you and your family from the Enveonline crew. You got anything you want to say? Because I know it's an important time of the year.
You know, just everybody, man, you know, this time of year last year was not good.
Yeah, that's why I wrote it.
So I think, you know, just cherish the time with people, because you just never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm just going to leave it at that for right now. You know, tomorrow's not promised. So just please, man, cherish the time. Because I think when you're younger, you think you got all the time in the world, and it just hits you like a curveball.
Yeah.
Something like what happened to Jake Paul. You know, you get sucker punch. You know,
that wasn't no sucker punch.
That sucker punch was a knockout punch. Like boom.
He said,
Anthony, like he cocked back, right? Like,
Anthony Joshua said, "What script?"
Yeah, boom, yeah. I said, "Oh my God,
that was in the contract. I wasn't supposed to hit him." Yo, the look on Anthony Joshua's face.
Lord, have mercy, Jesus.
It looked like he didn't care about no script.
Yeah, because it was like 6th round. I said, "Oh my God, no."
But to your point, man, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Timestamp this. Today is December 23rd. So I also want to give a shout out to my grandmother. Yes. Today is her 80th birthday. Now we celebrated over the weekend. And it's a milestone, because the average life expectancy for anybody in America is like 76.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any family member you cherish, a parent, a cousin, a sibling, and they make it past that 75 age, man, it's a blessing. My grandmother hit 80 today, and the celebration was beautiful, but it just to see her smiling, vibrant, walking around, dancing. We got videos of her dancing.
Yeah, I
unassisted,
love it.
like just doing whatever she wanted to do and being appreciated. I had to bring that up and shout her out, because my grandparents, are just like yours, come from a time period where if they don't sacrifice and make the choices that they made, we don't know where we would be at in general. And that's for anybody from our community. My grandmother was born in the 40s in the south of Mississippi. So we already know that history and that time period. And just knowing the struggle that they had when they left Mississippi and made a pit stop in Memphis for a year. And then left Memphis to come and bring our whole family to New York. And then the struggles that they had, you know, when my grandfather left the family, and just her continually sacrificing and making tough decisions since they came up here from the South And every decision that my grandmother made from 1960 to 2025 is the reason why I get to stand on her shoulders and the work that she put in, so I can even go to college, so I can even dream, because she raised the daughter, my aunt, who I look up to. So because she raised her, it gave me a vision that my aunt graduated college, so let me reach for something. So I said all that. I really want to salute my grandmother for everything she gave my family, and definitely say, yo, grandma, happy birthday. It was a big milestone. Love you and appreciate everything you did, because what you did is the reason why I'm here today. So we're going to start off with our music.
Okay.
We like to curate underground hip hop, and I started off by saying we brought an album. I like to buy the vinyls, the tapes, the cassettes, because that's back in style. It's been back in style, you know, since y'all crying about hip hop not being on the billboards and streams not mattering. But this was the final installment from Mass Appeal and Nas from their Legend Has It series. He released a slew of albums this year. Before we get into this, what did you think about the overall strategy from Mass Appeal and Nas on the release of all those historic albums?
I think it was genius. I think it was dope. I think it brought me back to like when, like I think I was saying this when we interviewed Wiz. Like, you know, it made me go back to when the album was like a whole experience. Like he brought that back with all these projects and these songs, these albums, this classic material is keeping the lights on with hip hop.
Oh, I brought some other albums from the Legend Has It series. Slick Rick.
Yes.
Salute to Slick Rick. I got that vinyl too.
Yeah.
And to me, this was the home run out the park. Rest in peace, Prodigy. I got that Mobb Deep Infinite album, man. The experience you're talking about.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Real quick, about that, that's dope too. Yo, sometimes you forget about all their classic stuff because they've done so much. I was listening like some of their stuff back, and I'm not even talking about the first one. I'm talking about the second or third album. Like, shout out to DJ Rumble. He does the Rumble mix on Sirius XM Shade 45. He was playing some of his stuff from the other day. I was like, my God, I forgot about that. Like it was just like you hearing it now, and it's tough. So it's hard to create music that's like official, and like to this day, like I had to be in college. So we talking like somewhere between 97 and 2000, and like fast forward now, we're in 2025, and it still resonates. You get what I'm saying? So, but I'm sorry. Let's go back to what we were saying. I just wanted to prove that point.
Overall, before we got into this, I was asking, what did you think about the execution from Mass Appeal and Nas?
I think it was great. I think Nas, without throwing shots, you always hear about what they're gonna do, how they're gonna bring hip hop back. Hip hop is dead. The culture. Nas made it happen, and he made it happen with the vets. Now, y'all better hope he doesn't grab anybody young that's up and coming, because if that happens, it's over.
And to piggyback off of your point, this gave groundwork in a way to next year there could be a whole nother set of legends. There's Rakim, there's Big Daddy Kane, there's Eric Sermon, there's Redman. Like he can keep this going for a few years.
Right.
So I'm interested to see after this dies down, does him and Mass Appeal have plans to do this again next year? Go ahead.
Yeah. By the way, Eric Sermon has this new banger with MOP. I don't know if you heard it. It's insane.
Eric Sermon's torturing right now.
I think he's got an album coming. Because I keep hearing him and seeing him around. But yeah, back to what we was talking about. You know, Slick Rick album, Nas and Premier album, Ghostface album,
Raekwon.
Yeah, Raekwon.
De La
Soul, Big L. I mean, it's just classic material. And why I hear all these hip hop veterans talking about what they gonna do, Nas is doing it. He's showing and proving. I don't know what else everybody else is doing, but he's showing and proving. He's doing it hands down. So I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You know, I don't know about these other vets. They keep talking like they're gonna do it, but I don't know if they're really doing it. The only other vet I see doing it is a dude that's on tour, and he takes two of the street street vets with him on tour. You know what I'm talking about?
50 Cent.
Yeah.
Tony Yayo.
And he's still making off his class material. He don't have time to make that music because of everything else he's doing. But his art, or however you want to call it, his artwork, his classic material is so great. He can still tour off of it. So I mean,
And I
shouts
got an
out to
idea
those
for
Queens
him
cats.
at the end of this review.
Yeah,
I got an idea for 50 at the end of this review, so
Mhm.
stay tuned.
Okay.
So they finally, Nas and Premier finally gives us the album that they said that should have happened 20 years ago
Yeah.
or 10 years ago.
Mm.
Just in general, off your first listen, what are your thoughts from the album Light Years?
This is a dope album. It's a banging album. If I had to give my review, I think when we had Wiz here, he gave it 3.5. I give it 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 mics. I think it. I don't know how Nas did it. You're gonna laugh. I swear, when I'm hearing the album, when I'm putting the record on, I swear I'm hearing like Nas, Nasty Nas, from like when we came out the barbecue. Yeah, like
there's a record on there. Sorry to cut you.
No.
But there's
go
a
ahead.
record on there. I think Nasty Nas is the title, and he's rapping from 3 different perspectives. He's rapping from Nas, Escobar, and Nasty Nas, and that was ill. But go ahead. Sorry.
Just from every track I'm hearing, I'm like, yo, this sound like Nas that when we first was coming. Like, who's that kid on Live in the Barbecue? I don't understand it. So I don't know how he did it, but he tapped in. And he went ham. It's kind of the equivalent of, I hate to keep bringing him up again, but 50 Cent, when he did the Curtis mixtape, not the Curtis mixtape, Kanan mixtape, you kind of sounded like the whole 50, like, oh God, like thank God he ain't making no music right now. That's kind of what Nas is. I was like, yo, this is like, in Premier, I mean, if you had any doubts that he still got it, clearly those doubts were killed.
And that was the weird criticism before I give my take on it. Oh, Nas and the beats he picked, or I heard some bloggers like, oh, Premier, you know, he did. Like, what are y'all expecting Premier to give us in 2025, especially if you've been listening to him since the 90s? He's underground hip hop.
Yeah,
He's not, and I'm going to allude to this on my part of the take. This wasn't let's make a Billboard chart record.
Yeah.
Let's see if I could get something that they could dance to on TikTok and get on the radio.
Yeah.
And that's the part I'm going to get in. But what did you think overall for the production standpoint?
It was dope. It was all the beats were insane. They were all insane. They were all, you couldn't mess those. You have to be a horrible artist to mess those beats up. That's the best way I can put it. You have to be a horrible artist to mess those beats up. And I don't know what more else to say to that. Like those Premier beats sound like Hard to Earn. What's the other Gangstar album? Moment of Truth. All that. Like it sounds like those type of beats. And I don't know. Premier once again did it again. I don't know how he did it. It sounded like they just went in the basement and just created this classic art.
Yeah, and I think they talked about it. They said that it took like a year or some change in the last year that they would see each other out on tour. And now they'd be piecing it together, man. I just, I'm a generation under you in hip hop, but yeah, Nas was always my favorite artist. So seeing the progression that he's still pouring into the culture. What is he, like early 50s now?
Yeah, he's gotta be. Yeah.
And to still be motivated to do something of this caliber, you just have to sit back and be like, what's next? How can you? Basically, he raised the bar again.
Yeah. And he didn't even make any, there was no danceable tracks in it. And so if you're looking for like Uchiwali and Shorty with Genuine and all that's not. So, now, if you're looking for Live from the Barbecue and like Whose World Is This and all that type of stuff, then you need to get this album. But if you're looking for that other stuff, that's not gonna fly.
And I want to jump on that point. So from my take, I got a couple ways I'm gonna take this. First, I'm gonna talk about it from the standpoint of, the media crying about, we saw the data that hip hop is not on the top Billboard charts. And I like the interview that Nas did with Joe Budden. He specifically talked about it. It's a well done interview. Salute to Joe Budden for that. The way he conducted the interview. Great interview between Joe Budden, Nas, and Premier. But there was a line that Nas said in that interview where he said, yo, man, when we was listening to the Nice and Smooth album, nobody would bring up Billboard when we passing around the tape cassette. We would tell you to get the hell out of our face. We don't want to hear that Bill. Like, this is the album dope or not?
Right. Facts.
Is the album dope or not? So from my perspective, Nas went into this with a clear mind. This wasn't about, yo, let's see if I can get a Grammy and jump on the charts. For me, two things. From an art perspective, it was devoid of capitalism, which goes into what I said. Like, he's not thinking about streams. He's not thinking about that. He's giving you the best. When art is devoid of capitalism, like, you don't have to worry about somebody frauding. Like, you hear somebody say, well, I'm just doing it for the money. Right. You know you're going to get some BS. This wasn't that. But more importantly, outside of the capitalism talk, Nas answered a question of why. You know when somebody say, yo, why are you playing football? Yeah. Why are you going to college? Right. Nas answered the question of why are you making an album? For me, why are you making an album? Right. And he's making an album because he wants to pour into this culture and take it to the next level. That's what I heard when I listened to this. That man went into the booth and said, yo, I'm going to give him something so that this can last 100 years after I'm dead. Right. Why else would he make the song Writers? Why else would he make the song Boutique where he's shouting out not just the known female MCs like the MC Light, he's doing the history, the homework. He's giving a homework lesson on Boutique. He's giving a history lesson on Writers. This song, and I'll talk about this once we keep going, the song Sons. I thought that was an amazing track. Dope. Yeah. And I got a line from there I'm going to talk about. But for me, first listen, Nas answered the question, why? Why are you making music right now? Are you doing it just because your label said you got one album left? Yeah. We heard those albums before. Yo, I'm just trying to fulfill this contract obligation. So, that wasn't this. That wasn't Light Years. Yo, man, I'm trying to revive my career. So let me see if I can make a radio record. That wasn't Light Years. This was, I'm gonna give y'all some art that's gonna last the test of time. Some of y'all might not understand it now, but it's gonna keep being a conversation piece in the culture, man.
Yo, you know what else is crazy? Cause you was talking about lines on the first song. He said, I'm on a jet with giants. He said, I'm like Bill's Parcells. I said, oh my God. That's when I knew, like, that was the first song. I said, yeah, it's about to be a rap. He's about to go in.
My life is real.
The first song. He said, I'm on a jets with giants. He said, I'm Bill Parcells. I was like, oh my God. I said, yep, here we go. You know what I mean? But a lot of the songs, I think you was talking about that register. You talked about Sons.
I'm gonna talk about that.
That was dope. I'll wait till you get into that, but there was things that in that song I could relate to that he was talking about, and you know, I would love to see if Wayne could do that later on in his career. I think that's what people are not understanding. Like, if you go, I'm not trying to sidetrack, but I'm making a point. K-Slade one point had a lot of MCs on a record, one time.
Like when he does the 50 MCs.
And some of the vets that was on that record, they didn't sound right. They weren't on beat. Their flow was outdated. It didn't sound like the flow could keep up with the beat. They were way off beat. It didn't sound right at all, right? I think when I look at Nas, what makes me appreciate it is that he still got it. Like, you know how hard it is to sit there with Premier and tap into your talent of Nasty Nas. We're not talking about Nas Escobar. We're talking about Nasty Nas. I'm talking about like that live from the barbecue. That's what I remember Jay said. I remember at one point when he did Blueprint, after that he kept trying to remake a Blueprint and it was hard. He can't go back and do it. You get what I'm saying? He can't tap in. Nas for some reason could. At least on the Nasty Nas level he could. Now, I don't know if he's going to try later on to do Nas Escobar and make some dance records, hit records, and be like, yeah, I could still do this too. But as far as Nasty Nas, oh yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. And you know what else? I would watch if you want to battle him. I don't think you should do it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Do not get hyped and try to battle him because you'll lose. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm sorry.
Nah, that's a dope build. You talking about lines when he said, "I got a turn ether into erythium. Y'all want to bet? I got a crypto key. It comes with a password." So basically, he was talking about ether when he ether J, but now he's getting into the whole digital space. So the evolution of him becoming a street rapper to getting into the technology behind the scenes.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, I think, you know, like I said, from start to finish, I'm not saying that the other projects can be start to finish, but with Nas, I didn't even to me, if you want to consider the track one of the tracks that I was less likely to like, it wasn't that I didn't like it. It was just some reason the beat and what I felt like they were doing on the flow wasn't mixing. But because AZ and Nas was spitting gems on that track.
Oh man!
Oh my god, that was him. That was like that was going sword for sword. But I felt like the beat. I don't know, something was off.
What track was that again?
Oh, I got the track list right here. My Story, Your Story, and then let's not even get into the when he was shouting out the female MCs. I was like, my God, he was shouting them out and rhyming about it.
And that's gonna go into my last part. I'm gonna say that for last, but just to touch on that. No, you can keep talking about it. Like, just imagine the homework you got to do. Like, he talked about that on the Joe Budden interview when they asked Premier about writers. He was like, "Yeah, yo, Nas really did his homework on this." So when he started rapping about it, he's not just shouting out Cornbread from Philly, which if you know the culture, he was one of the first graffiti artists from Philly. His name is Cornbread.
Right.
He's going into writers, breaking down what K Slay did, what was his tag, and making it sound dope. And I'm just like, this dude, I guess the third part of my take is how much he loves hip hop.
Yes.
How much he loves, like, it's not just like, you know, somebody who love basketball or football, you can tell because they go to corner store, they got the ball in their hand.
Right.
They go to the restaurant, they holding the basketball.
Right.
They walking around the house with the basketball and football.
Yeah.
You like, yo, this dude or a female loves the sport.
Right.
Nas loves this shit. That's why like he had this song on here. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up the track listing. The track listing. Junkie
yes.
for me sounded like Microphone Fiend.
Right, yeah.
For those of you I don't know, the legendary Rakim had Microphone Fiend, and we saw him perform that live, and he brought the song to life while he's performing it by putting a microphone in his vein. Right. Listening to Junkie, you can see how addicted Nas is to hip hop.
Yeah. Say just keeps calling me.
You can see how addicted the culture is, and it's like it's just in his blood. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm just like, man, this dude really loves what he's doing.
Right.
And when somebody loves what they're doing, you get the best version of them. You get the best product. When somebody loves cutting hair, you're gonna get the flyest haircut you're gonna get.
Right.
When somebody genuinely loves what they do, you're just gonna get the best out of it. Go ahead.
No. It just, I mean, you know, the female MC one was dope to me. The Young Sons, like we was talking about when he's walking with his mother, that was dope. I mean, it just some of the topics. I'm like, yo, you gotta be just the creativity alone. Like I said, man, he gets 4 mics for it. I love when in part of the Young Sons he was talking about like how he was looking at different images and asking his mother about it. He's like, meanwhile, we going to schools with testing and racism and what we go through with the racist teachers. Like I could relate to that. Like, you know, going to a PWI. So, you know, I was like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is like he was hitting it nail on nail. So I don't know. I don't know what more to say. I don't know what more you need from him. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, he's already got belts. It's like he just went back in the ring and said, yo, I'm going to show you I still got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man. This one definitely get 4 mics. This might be the album of the year because I'm trying to think back about some of the albums we reviewed and that came out. His might be the album of the year.
From the Mass Appeal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a second.
You know, so like I said, man, he touched on so many topics. So we'll see.
I want to go back to Sons because that was my favorite track. So Nas has a song called Daughters, and I think that got nominated for a Grammy if I'm not correct.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was a dope song. I got two daughters. I got an oldest daughter and a youngest daughter. So the daughter's song, pardon the engineer, he's getting us correct. Okay. Let me know if I'm good. Okay. So jumping back on topic, Nas had this song called Daughters. Great track. It was an ode to daughters. And I think there was always that question because people knew he had a son.
Right.
So when he comes out with Sons, I think that hits just as big as well as Daughters. You gave your thoughts on it. That was one of my favorite tracks on it. And I'll talk about the other two, but my middle child is a son.
Right.
Dope record, speaking life into our boys, which we have to do.
Right.
And it was a bar in here that made me think, that really caught me. It was like kind of a tearjerker. So, bar is, every man is a vessel. My son is my reflection. He's from the highest heavens. I try not to possess him. Allow him to be tested. But the next part is what really got me. And I was like, God damn, like he pulling it out of me, pulling the emotion out of me.
Right? Yeah.
But he said, one day the words may come out the mouth of a reverend by the power vested in me, loud at his wedding. He's pretty much talking about envisioning one day growing up, being in the stands for his son getting married. And y'all might say, oh, why was that bar so important? Because usually when we talk about our kids, it's kind of common to say, I can't wait to be at my daughter's wedding.
Right.
We always hear that perspective from fathers saying, I can't wait till my daughter gets married. While some of our sons run around and sow the wild oats.
Right.
But Nas is thinking like, nah, I want to see my son get married one day. So I thought that was dope. I have a son. Like I said, my son was at my wedding. And y'all might say that's a ghetto wedding, but he was 11 months. I got this iconic picture of my son holding him after the wedding. And he just has his head up like he's proud of me. So when he said that, I immediately said, damn, I pray that I'm alive as a black man in my 50s or 60s. And I live long enough for us to recreate that picture. And I'm sitting at his wedding.
Correct.
That's why that bar hit for me. Because as a father, I was blessed to see my oldest daughter get married, walked her down the aisle. I pray I'm blessed to see my son get married. And I pray I'm blessed to live long enough to see my youngest child get married. So that's my goal as a man. Me live long enough to see all three of my kids get married. So when Nas put that bar in Sons, I was like, ooh, I feel that. It wasn't about no flipping bars and no similes and making it sound. It was like, God damn, like, yeah, I do want to be at my son's wedding. How dope is that going to be? Because he was at my wedding and he was up there with the me mug like, yeah, I'm at my dad's wedding. I'm going to overlay the picture. It's like one of my favorite pictures from the wedding.
Okay.
You know, we're all done. He got his shoes off. We're by the house. We're outside. And we just take this ill flick. And I'm like, yo, I want to recreate that with him in 20 or 30 years if he's blessed to get married. I'm going to put it in the universe. Son, you're going to find you a wife, man. I'm going to speak that. I'm going to speak that life into you. A man who findeth a wife findeth a good thing, man. So that was one of my favorite tracks. Got any other tracks? Because I still got some more.
Like I said, the female MC one was dope.
What was I tripping when he shouted out Sonya Blade on the female MCs? Because the first thing I said was he talking about the same Sonya Blade from Brooklyn that we interviewed? So any other Sonya Blades out there?
Nah, I don't know. I don't think so.
What did you? Because we're from a certain era of female MCs. Were you surprised at the female MCs that he shouted out?
Yes, he even shout out Nitty Scott. Scarlett. He shot out Sexy Red, which I was extremely shocked, but I ain't gonna go there.
I got a difference of opinion on that.
Okay.
And this is my, because I knew you was gonna go there with that.
I did.
So from that perspective, looking at Nas as a traditional MC from the boom bap era, some might say, well, why did he shout out certain women MCs? I like what he said. Like, they don't get enough respect within our culture.
No.
All of them. No matter who you name, whether it's a Sexy Red, a Cardi B, Meg the Stallion, all the way to the veterans like Roxanne, Shantae,
Hey.
MC Light, Trina, Gangsta Boo, all of them.
Yeah, he shot them all out. And you know, we're the only magazine that's ever really dedicated an issue to the female MCs.
I might have to overlay that screenshot.
We you know, I mean, with proofs in the pudding. You can
We
find
did that,
it.
what, 15 years ago?
Yeah, about, yeah. We're the only ones that did it, like Nitty Scott, Naima Supreme, MC
Jade.
Light. Yup.
We was digging Lola Monroe from the DMV area.
Yup. We did it all. We were the ones that did that. Nobody else. And usually they just try to put one on there. You know, no, we dedicated the whole issue to female MCs. So just want to put that out there. Just saying. Because we don't follow the trend, we set the trend. So whatever.
Who would be your favorite female MC that he shouted out?
Other than Nitty Scott, she's still one of my favorite. I know I went through a lot. Other than Nitty, Rod Digger. Rod Digger was always one of my favorite.
And you had to take.
Light you up.
You had to take. I want you to bring that take back. When we talked about Rod Digger, and it was a great take.
Yeah.
When you listed her at what level of MC on a list?
She's like a top. She's like one of the top MCs because she's one of the only MCs that's been on track with Lauryn Hill and went sword for sword with her. Like go listen to Cowboys. Like she was going right back and forth with her, and she stood out in her crew. And people say, hey, a lot of artists, no, he didn't, man. And a lot of them wasn't writing their rhymes. Let's just keep it 100. Rod Digger was not that one. Rod Digger stood out in Flip Mode Squad. She stood out in Outsiders. She stood on her own. She went sword for Lauryn Hill. She's one of the illest cats I've ever seen in my life. She will light you up. It's a rap. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to win that fight. Even her right now, I think she just had a birthday. Yeah. But even right now, nobody could touch her. I don't care who you gonna go get. I don't do it, you're gonna get embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I don't know.
Like I said, it's dope that the amount of thought effort that he put into that track and goes all the way back. I can't even pick one, man. You know, I used to be a big 3-6 Mafia fan, so rest in peace to Gangsta Boo.
Yeah.
I used to love the way she would spit on the records and compliment the 3-6, man.
Yes. Yeah, she was dope. She was super dope. She was ill too. I think she really repped the South. Because if you look at the South, there was Mia X who rapped, and there was Trina. I'm going to say, but Gangsta Boo came out before both of them, if I'm not mistaken.
90s.
Yeah, she came out before both of them. Yeah, before Master P. She was out before them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, she kind of really rep for the South. He even shout out Yo-Yo. I was shocked about that. JJ Fad, Oaktown's 357. I mean, women that had came out and had dropped some hits that unless you were part of that era, you didn't even know about. I was just listening to
And
Nas.
like I said, I got an idea for that record.
Yeah.
And writers that I'm going to say last. But I liked what he did. Keep going.
Yeah, like I was just listening. I was like, yo, I kept listening. I remember I texted you yesterday. I was like, yo, this album is banging. Because I was just letting it play. Sometimes I'll be hearing tracks like, oh, that's not working. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm not gonna waste my eardrum with this. Like, so, but with that, my God, he just, I can't speak the way I can speak no more, man. He did it. He tore it up. Like Nas, like when he knew, it's like, how can I put this? It's the equivalent of like, if you want to talk modern day, like what we see with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson with the Chicago Bears, we always knew if Caleb Williams, you know, had the guru they needed, which was Ben Johnson, you see what they're doing in Chicago. They're on top of the conference. It's kind of like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You know, Reid was a vet coach. You know he was great. It was only a matter of time before he won. And then he had the boy wonder, Patrick Mahomes. That's what Premier and Nas is. They're like Mahomes and Reid. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say it no more than the way I'm saying it. You know?
That track, Bouquet, to the ladies and writers. Like I said, if there was any doubt in your mind of how much Nas loves this culture and how much he wants to continue to pour into it to raise the bar, those are the two tracks on the album you listen to. Writers, to me, it was like, And the reason why it was important for me, because sometimes when we talk hip hop culture, not for us, not to the people who love the culture, but to the people out there on the internet and the podcast, they forget how much that played a part into the culture, graffiti writing.
Yeah.
How people were taking penitentiary chances to get their artwork on the side of a train track, a building. Like at one point it was seen as a nuisance. That's why people were calling the cops. But it turned into this great culture. Like there was 5 points in Queens, even before that whole 5 points thing in Queens, what they were doing in NYC and across other areas. And to hear how the way he broke it down, even the opening freaking bar, like he's using words I can't even, I can't even say the damn word, galactic citizenship. I'm like, all right, Nas, you reading a lot of books. I feel you, man. I can't say that word on my best day, but just go to Genius and look up the lyrics. 'Cause I'm not about to slaughter the bars. Just the way it started off, I'm like, yo, what was he doing?
Yeah, what was he thinking? Yeah.
To create that. Now, I'll hurry up and give the take because we're kind of running out of time on this segment. So I have a take of what would I like to see moving forward to take this to the next level. And I'm going to ask you, but I'm going to give my take. So there's certain books out there that you read them like, yo, that book was so good. I want to see this be created to a movie. You about to? Okay. So there's certain books that you will read and be like, yo, that should be turned into a movie. Okay. I'll bring it back. Shout out to the engineer. For the people that say y'all like the quality, it's because our engineer does little stuff like that. So I'll bring back the take. What would I like to see to bring this album moving forward? There's certain books that you read to say, yo, this would be a good movie. We're in hip hop culture where 50 Cent is doing what? He's taking ideas and doing what? Turning them into TV series.
Shows.
Not just a year. Like it'll be 3 seasons, 5 seasons with 10 episodes. How dope would it be for 50 Cent, with how genius 50 Cent is, to team up with Queens, to team up with Nas and say, yo, let's turn writers into a series. To a 3-season, 5-season series where we talk about hip hop culture, and start breaking down Lee Quinez, the story of K. Slade Daz, the writer. Do you know how sick that would be for him to do a writer's TV series? Yo, Fifth, you taking a lot of great ideas and turning into TV series. Please reach out to Nas and Master Pill. Take the idea, I don't want it. Make $100 million. Take it to Shreveport. If 50 Cent, this is the take, this is the clip you can clip up. If 50 Cent teams up with Nas from this album and take writers from this album, he can turn writers or bouquet into a TV series. Matter of fact, take them both. You can have a hip hop TV series for writers, 3-5 seasons, and have the most illest stories of those dope writers from K. Slade, Lee Quinez. You got to remember, the last time we had something like this was Wild Style. That was back in the 80s. We need something in 2020 for the graffiti culture. And I think 50 Cent is just the genius to do it.
I do too.
Fifth, team up with Queens, with Nas. Y'all make something legendary happen. Please take the idea and make a gajillion dollars. But that's for y'all. I care about the art. I think that'd be something great for the culture, because everybody's crying about how hip hop ain't streaming and it ain't on Billboard. Well, how dope would it be to see a piece of art like from Light Years being a TV series, and we get back to hip hop being blended back in with TV series like we used to back in the 90s? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that's a great idea. I think that's something that needs to happen. And you're right, because I like graffiti. I think they've forgotten. It's just like the DJ. I think they forgot
it, but like I said, the last major movie was what? Wild Style. That's back in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, it's like a no-brainer. It's an easy layup.
Yeah.
You got all these TV series out. You could turn writers into a TV series, but again.
Yeah, no.
What would you like to see moving forward?
As far as like with what the Nas and everything?
Yeah, from this
album, I would like to see, I would like to see certain producers work with certain artists. I'd love to see Scratch work with him. You know what I mean?
DJ Scratch?
Yeah. DJ Scratch. DJ Scratch is another slept because I know he's an Illmatic. He's such a vet. People forget about his producing side because he's a vet, being EPMD's DJ, and the way he was a veteran DJ, the way he's an Illmatic cat, with the way he scratches, he mixes. If you listen to Sirius XM, he's on channel 43 every Saturday at 6 o'clock. Usually when we're leaving from a football game, covering a game or whatever. And he's on Sunday mornings at 11 in the morning. Yeah, I'm blowing him up right now. So, but just some of his productions, I mean, I would love to see him I would love to see Nas do albums like this with certain producers. We already saw what he did with Hit Boy.
Yeah.
Imagine he clearly with Premier he did it. I think Scratch is somebody I would love to see him do an album with. Just him and DJ Scratch. Just doing it. I guarantee it would be like a Illmatic Part 2. I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
This left so much room for me to push the culture forward. And I probably said it 100 times, but it was important for Nas to do something like this because everybody's crying about how hip hop isn't on Billboard. But as I said, when you got a Nas, somebody who's still doing this damn near 4 decades later, this was for the underground. This was for us. This was like our Christmas gift. I.e. track number 4, Welcome to the Underground.
Right.
He's breaking it down all day. So salute to Nas, salute to DJ Premier. Well put together album. Art without capitalism. He answered the question why he's making an album.
Yeah.
And some of you artists need to, and the reason why I said that, because some of you artists that are making music need to answer that question. Before y'all put that project out, y'all need to ask yourself, why are y'all releasing this? Some of it's good, i.e. Conway just released the album. He's probably outside of what Nas did, and I'm going to talk about that maybe next podcast. What Kanye just put out, You Can't Kill a God with Bullets. He answered the question why. So y'all artists need to get back to start answering why are y'all doing this, because it was quite evident from Nas what him and DJ Premier did with Light Years.
Correct.
It was for hip-hop culture. That's my take on it.
Okay.
Salute to the underground. That was the first half of the podcast for us curating this dope album. If you don't got it, you can find it on Master Pill. Support getting back to buying the artwork, because I'm going to do it.
Right.
If the other people don't want to do it, that's what Enveonline is going to be known for. We're not just streaming it. We're going to go back to buying the artwork, showing the artwork, and curating it. We're going to stay in hip-hop, but we're going to go a little into politics.
Okay.
We're only going to stay on this for 5 minutes because we got a couple other topics we want to bounce around to.
Okay.
So while staying in hip-hop for a few minutes, underground MC by the name of Mysonne was brought up in the news a few weeks ago. He was given a position from new NYC Mayor Mamdani. Right. Am I pronouncing his name correctly? Mamdani.
Right.
My apologies. Yeah. Pardon me. That's why I turned immediately and looked at our engineer and said, did I pronounce that correctly? Because I know I probably effed it up. So salute to the engineer again for getting me correct. When you heard about Mysonne, what were your thoughts on it? Because I'm going somewhere with this.
I think it's great because I think he can relate to a younger crowd. I think he can speak from a perspective that's not being spoken and look through the eyes and look through the eyes of a person that's not normally looked through. So I think it gives a different perspective, a much needed perspective of, you know, what he was appointed to do.
And can I just throw in something, because somebody's gonna ask what was the role? He was appointed to the criminal justice transition team. Now, what better way to do that than have somebody like a Mysonne who has been in the system, and we'll detail that briefly. To get him to go into something like that. Go ahead.
No, I just think he's who else were they gonna get for the job? Like what were they it's let's just get such and such. Yeah. Like, come on, man. Like, instead of they talk about in politics all the time, we represent the people. I don't know who else more you could to get representing Mysonne. Who else you gonna go get?
You know, and it was interesting to see like the Daily News and all these news outlets have a brain aneurysm and try to do their news. Oh, crime boss, Democrats, this, that, and the third. And for me, it's not even about Democrat or Republican. Because as me and T was talking before, I said, one thing you would have to do in a situation like this is look at the person's record, no matter who it is on either side. So let's look at Mysonne's record. He did a crime that he went to jail and paid his debt for. When you look at Mysonne's record over the last close to 20 years, I think he's been home since like early 2000s, let's say 2006 or 7. So he's been home for about 18 years. Mysonne has not been in the news for anything negative. The only time he's been arrested was for activism. He now has close to a 15-year record of at least learning about activism and putting himself on the line to fight for certain rights. So when I look at that, I could say, oh, he's at least trying. He's reformed. He's moved forward. He actually is trying to fight for his community. Right. What are your thoughts on that as far as people saying, well, he went to jail before and now he's going to be in politics? Which was interesting as hell to me because looking at our politicians, but hey.
What I think about it as far as
the way the news try to spin it.
Oh, I think first of all, they need to be addressed, whatever their names were, and maybe next podcast will blow them up. Second, I mean, it's kind of what Malcolm X says, the media. The media will teach you and train you how to hate somebody that looks like you. And that's exactly what I think about that. That's exactly what I think. They put somebody out there that they, you want you to think and look like them. Like somebody that looks like you, and you want to look against them. I have no problem with my son being in his position. And like I said, you want to talk about where we represent the people, there's nobody else in that position. But for what the media did, I'm not shocked. Anything that, especially a person of color, a black male, yeah, they're gonna do exactly. But whoever wrote that, and that was more the Daily News, correct?
I want allegedly until I get the correct source, but it was one of the newspapers, so I don't want to slander.
Whoever it was, I can't speak for every race and color, but especially for black and brown, stop buying that paper. Don't buy that paper. Don't support it. Don't do nothing. We need to start sending a message. If you go against us or you try to knock us, it's one thing if he was guilty of something. He just got put in a position that y'all felt like he shouldn't have had, and instead you try to attack his character. I don't want nothing to do with that newspaper, whoever wrote it. We'll find out. I'm next podcast, I'm going to say, like, I don't want nothing to do with them. Nothing.
So I'll keep it brief, but salute to Mysonne and everything he's been working in his personal life for over a decade, because as I said, his record speaks for itself. If you just research what he's been doing and who he's been working with, whether you like the party or not, because people say, oh, you just like it because it's Democratic.
No.
Whatever party.
We don't care.
Whether it's independent, whatever he chose, he's put in the work for over a decade.
Right.
While being a family person, keeping himself out of the negative media and just pushing for positivity, whether it's within music or whether it's within us fixing our culture. He stood on the front lines because y'all always talk about what about black on black crime. He's spoken out against that. So I just like it overall as somebody that, as you said, we can relate to, but more importantly, actually done the work for a long period of time.
Correct.
I want to see that work. I want to see when any party, Democrat or Republican, looks to appoint positions, they take that route within reason. Look at their record, make sure they've been working at it. Like I told T, I'm not sending my kid to a daycare that somebody just got out of prison 3 years ago for being a violent offender. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying hire everybody that just got out of jail last year. But if they proven themselves like my son has,
right,
let it rock.
Correct. 1000% agree.
Still want to stay in hip hop because I think this is an interesting conversation. This whole F the streets narrative that is coming out now.
Right.
So I'll lay the groundwork. I guess this went viral a couple days ago. There's been certain rappers that are now coming out. 21 Savage.
Mac from No Limit.
Well, no, he commented on it.
Okay.
He
Got you.
commented on it.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but there's a reason why I got to put the faces with this whole after.
Right.
So first 21 Savage, and then it spiraled. Then people started giving their takes like Mac. But there's a reason why I got to put the faces to it, because I have a take on why.
Okay.
But before I give my take, when you hear After Streets from any perspective, what is your thoughts?
I thought, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Why? Why? If you're not, it's nothing wrong with saying you're not built for it. It's nothing wrong with saying, yo, that's just not who I am. That's not the direction you want to go in. Nobody benefits from you being in the streets, but the people that don't look like you, that are correctional officers, that are wardens, that are companies
Small towns in upstate New York,
companies that make money off of you, make money because they're paying you pennies on a dollar to do the work that they have to pay somebody else. It does not benefit. Wallow said something one day. He said, a drug dealer say, yo, I can't be out there working a 9 to 5. And the next thing you know,
find out what you're working for.
You in jail, you working for less than what you would make at a 9 to 5. So at the end of the day, you kind of playing yourself. You just don't see it yet. So yes, if people want to say After Streets, I have no problem saying that. That's not who I am. I don't want no parts of it and whatever. You don't have to be that to just be cool. And I think that especially for Black and Brown, it is always promoted like that's all the option we got other than entertainment and sports. And it's BS. Trust me, we are living proof of that. So I trust me. After Streets, worry about IRAs, Roths, stuff like that. Joey Badass related to that. He talked about that. He said you're watching yourself. You're creating yourself to be broke because of what you're watching and observing. So instead of you watching like about stocks and bonds and IRAs and about building generational wealth, which to no fault of our own, you normally don't have those type of conversations. You're over here watching shows that are completely irrelevant to the progression of it. You're not even trying to start a business. You're not even trying to educate your kids. So yes, After Streets, because the streets ain't got nothing for you and not going to help your family. At this point, this stage, we know better. It has no end game. What great end game does it have? So I have no problem with it. Nope. After Streets. I don't want my kids nowhere near the streets.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So there's two parts. The reason why I'm with you, because there's After Streets that are coming from rappers. That message ain't no. It's not some epiphany. Society has been saying this before the crack era, because before the crack era, it was what, heroin in the 70s?
Yeah.
We've always seen what drugs and street activity have done to our communities since the inception, no matter what region you're from, whether you're from New York, whether you're from California, whether you're from this. There's always been football coaches, mentors, Nation of Islam, church members, community activists have always preached that message. But hard-head knuckleheads never wanted to listen. What did they used to say, eh?
What?
Well, y'all from the suburbs. You don't know how it is. Like, we didn't live next door to y'all. Like, we didn't live next door to the trap house. Like, the boy on the basketball team wasn't the local weed dealer.
Facts.
We were right next to y'all. Y'all just didn't see a different option. While you were whipping up the pot and selling the drugs, my family member was getting addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
While you were taking penitentiary chances, somebody else family member got caught and did 20 years. We were right next to y'all. So I don't want to say I disagree, because I agree. I'm saying that message has always been there. I guess congratulations for finally waking up in your mid to late 30s.
Yeah,
because they're not young. Like 21 Savage ain't 21. I think he's in his 30s.
Right.
But I want to say this respectfully. I know somebody would say better late than never, but I hope they're doing it for the correct reason. I hope y'all not saying After Streets because now y'all can't market it no more.
Right.
Because what are y'all going to rap about now? I hope y'all not saying After Streets because a couple of these high-profile rappers like Young Thug got caught up in that no snitching controversy. Because if you're doing it for that, then it's not genuine.
Right.
Don't start saying, oh, After Streets because y'all want this no snitching, whatever that no snitching thing is with the Atlanta rappers, and now y'all throwing your hands up, because that's not really genuine.
Right.
Because as I said in the beginning, that sentiment has always been preached in our community. There's never been a
Right.
time period in a 10-year gap that there hasn't been community activists, sports coaches,
Mm-hmm.
religious people, from Christians to Muslims to teachers, that haven't been preaching that within our community.
Correct.
You just got to choose if you want to listen or not.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest civilian. Because I'm the biggest civilian. I listen because my 6'3" daddy, my country daddy from Mississippi, used to put his foot in my ass.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you didn't have a father and no fault of anybody's own, so not going in that conversation, but
Right.
either you listen or you don't. Salute to the rappers that are getting on board.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this sparks something. But as I said, I hope that the rappers that are saying this are doing it for a genuine reason outside of this whole no snitching controversy.
Right.
Got anything else you want to add on it?
No, man. I think you said it perfectly. Trust me.
So we dipped into hip hop. We dipped into some political discussions. We got one more before talk about some sports briefly. Just real quick, 2 minutes or whatever. What are your thoughts on this whole Epstein file debacle that's been viral?
Oh,
The DOJ released the Epstein files a couple weeks ago or some days ago, and it was like every page was redacted. Stripe, black stripe, black stripe. Like every page redacted, redacted. But they found ways to leak pictures of Bill Clinton. They found ways to leak pictures of Michael Jackson. And as I told you, the context today was Bill Clinton said, all right, I'm guilty.
Right.
Let's all go to hell. Release it all. Real quick, if you could sum it up, what are your thoughts on this whole Epstein files and it being redacted to Bill Clinton saying release all the shit?
Insanity, craziness, cowardly. I think everybody that's involved needs to go to jail. I think they need to go. We all know who's on that list. Or have a good idea who's on that list.
We have a general consensus.
Yeah, facts.
He's kind of orangey.
Yeah.
with a bad toupee.
Yeah. I think
falls asleep in his television meetings.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think we both know.
I just thought real quick, my take is if y'all gonna release it, y'all gotta unredact it because y'all playing in our face.
Facts.
Nobody wants to read 200 pages of black boxes. Like Bill Clinton said, like, let's all go to hell together.
Yeah, stupid.
I'll leave that there. Lastly, you wanted to bring up a sports topic as we close this out?
What'd you say?
You want to bring up a sports topic as we close this out?
What I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to bring up is that I think I wanted to shout out first South Carolina State. From winning the Celebration Bowl.
HBCU.
Yeah, HBCU. Shouts out to that team. I think they did the thing.
That's back to back or 3 times?
This is back to back.
Because they won last year as well.
Yes, they did, sir.
Salute to
but
South
I don't think
Carolina
nobody
State.
saw it coming last year. So shouts to them. Shouts out to the coach who
he got crazy.
Yeah,
he got crazy in the post game. What'd he say?
Did he say? He said, "Yo, I keep receipts." He said, "Yeah." He said, "When we was at Chennisberry," he said, "Yo." He said, when we was at the media day, and we was at those leagues, he said, "Yo, there was like 2 guys that they had all the questions for." He said they forgot about it. Mind you, we was the champs. You know what I'm saying? So
he was pretty much indirectly taking shots at Deshaun Jackson. Well, not them per se. I don't want to put words in his mouth. He was talking about the media only paying attention to Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick.
Yes.
I want to clear that up, so I'm not starting nothing.
So shouts out to him and the team. They did it. They were down by like 20-something points.
Yeah.
And then they came back in the second half and won the game.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say enough. We can have another conversation about something else. I'll leave it alone for now.
Mm-hmm.
Because Marvin Chambers, who's a great writer and has his own imprint, wrote a very fascinating article about Black media.
Sports media.
Yeah. But yeah, shouts out to South Carolina State for winning the Celebration Bowl and coming back the way they did, because the way they won it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, I mean, look at what he's doing. And nobody's looking at this guy to come up another level to take over their program.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I was starting a program, I would go get him. or I could pick somebody from his staff. You know, I don't know. Maybe you or me might should have looked in that, but we'll leave that alone. Um, Point I'm making is salute to him. Um, Let me also go forward too. So recently, and we'll get more into it, but I feel like we need to talk about it now only because by the time we do our next episode, the season, the conference play I already started. So what I do want to do is shout out Colleen Mullen, Coach Colleen Mullen from New Albany Women's Basketball and her staff
in the
for
American
the
East
great
Conference.
in the American East Conference for the job that they've done. I think when you look at what they've done this year, I think they're 10-3, if I'm not mistaken, the record. It's either 10-3 or 11-3. They've only lost to 3 teams, and all 3 teams are at the top of their conference: Vanderbilt, Rhode Island, and Syracuse. And all 3 of those teams are in the top of their conferences. And we're talking about, in no disrespect, not mid-majors. We're talking about Atlantic 10, we're talking about ACC, and we're talking about SEC. Those are only 3 teams they've lost to. I would get into some of the players' names. But shouts out to Colin Mullen, because I think after what happened last year, where they had that super team that they had and they didn't finish in the end, which we all know. I mean, shouts out to Alicia Kresge. I hope I'm Coach Kresge, but shouts out to her because she's 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 won 2 out of the 3 seasons she's won an American East title. But shouts out to her. They lost the American East title last year. I think a lot of people thought Coach Mullen was going to be in a rebuild year. That clearly is not the case.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, as Coach Mullen, ever since she stepped foot on that court and that campus, she has found ways to excel past the level and expectations of every season that she's supposed to do. With the exception of last year, where I think they were being looked at as to win the American East, every year it was, well, they got Kayla, but we'll see how far it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would always end up. And I think if you look at it, I mean, other than the one year when there was a lot, I don't know what was going on, but there was a lot of players that weren't on the team. They were literally playing like 7 or 8 players one year, and they lost in the semifinal. And I don't know, but that's another story for another day. Point I'm making is, even then she exceeded expectations because the season was looking crazy. So I think as you look at Coach Mullen, salute to her for the job that she's done so far this season. She's exceeded expectations, and what she said in the press conference, she even bigged up her players. She gave them an A+ because she didn't think that once again, she's her hardest critic. She didn't think they would be at the level they are. They're tied for first with Bryant. So that's big. And I don't think they got Bella, they got Gabriella. I'm saying her name, yes. Gabriella, Delaney Hill, just some of the players. But one player that I noticed that's sticking out, there's this one freshman. Her name is Amaya Stewart.
Oh, Amaya Stewart?
Yeah, Amaya Stewart. Yeah, she's a beast. And I mean that respectfully. Like, she's young. I don't even think she's starting. From when we saw her on the floor last game, she wasn't even starting. She was coming off the bench, and she was terrorizing. So I just can't wait to see what's going to come in the second half of conference play, because now you got these players. You got Stewart, Hill, Gabriella. I hope I'm saying her name right. Stewart, Amaya, Gabriella, and Delaney, which is some of the major players on the team. They're tearing through, and I think nobody sees them coming. I think you have no choice but to look at them because they're in first place. But when you look at what the job that Coach Mullen and her staff has done, I mean, there's no really words for it. Just but to say, she's taking care of business as usual, and it just goes to show the great coach that she is. Just like how we alluded to with South Carolina State, I'm shocked, and I'm pretty sure Albany's happy. I'm shocked that none of these schools or these universities are not smart enough to grab her and take her up into
I don't think
program.
the AD wants you putting that in the air.
Yeah,
no,
I don't think the AD wants
you
to put that in the air. No, I don't think so. So we're just gonna leave it alone. Let me just say this: I'm happy she's here still in Albany, but if she wins another title, which I don't even think she needs to do that, I don't think she'll be here too much longer. And I'm shocked she's even still here with the job she's done over the past years. Can I say something? One more thing.
Go ahead.
I've seen. And it's no disrespect to the coaches, because I've seen a lot of great American East women basketball coaches step up to the next level and do great. but they didn't do the job that she did.
Mm.
And they got an opportunity before she did. And that is insanity and complete craziness to me how that even happened. Because like I said, once again, I'm shocked she's still here.
Mm.
So salute to Coach Muller and the job she's done.
Salute to you, Albany, American East.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up this episode of the podcast, man.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, when we started this off, our job from Enveonline, yeah, we talk sports, yeah, we talk politics, but our foundation is this, hip-hop.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to the underground. Salute to Nas and DJ Premier for the hell of this album. Hope anybody that's following this podcast picks this album up. Go to Master Pill, their website. Go get you a copy, man.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to leave off with?
Just, as we know, I'm not gonna get into it right now, but I know G, rest in peace to my man G. He'd be happy, proud to hear that album. I know that. But I just want to say, it's a tough year for us. So, just cherish, man. Just cherish life. Be happy that you wake up every morning. Every morning that you wake up is another chance. So that's just what I want to say. When you wake up every day, be grateful you're here and cherish everybody in your circle. And that's it.
I share those same sentiments. It's during the holiday season. Not everybody is as fortunate as others. I also want to throw that out there. Love and light to anybody that may be without their family, that may be less fortunate, that may be houseless. Because, we got a certain amount of privilege just being regular, just saying, hey, I'm going home to my family is a privilege to somebody who doesn't have a family. Saying I'm going home to an apartment or a house is a privilege to somebody that's unhoused. So I definitely, around this holiday season and in general, want to send love and light to anybody that's dealing with those circumstances during this holiday season, because I know that really weighs on certain people. Hopefully, you're brought through the next season and bounce back. But in general, much love to everybody out there. Tune in, whether it's one person or whether it's 1,000 people. You watch the Enveonline podcast. You're with your host, Son of a Jones.
Azar Johnson,
and
a.k.a. the Black Franklin.
Yo, salute.
One.